again, thanks for being here, appreciate it. Everybody's welcome to stick around for this. So sit tight, and we'll be right with you. Go
Angela, do you have your card on you?
Huh?
Do you have a card on you?
Oh,
I know I have it, but
I know, I have it. I actually have it. I actually been putting some of my soup back. Thank you very much.
good afternoon, and I appreciate everybody being here. Thanks to all the media in attendance. Real important day. You know, over the course of history in past, we've done economic impact studies to show what impact Seneca Nation has as businesses on Western New York region. And so recently, although one was conducted a few years ago, we wanted to update that. And that's what today's about, is updating the economic impact of the Seneca Nation here in Western New York. I think we went out a little further. It's the 14 counties here in Western New York, Aboriginal territory, and what effect that we have on it. And also, you know, part of economic impact is also expanding our economic footprint. As was mentioned earlier, our purchase of the Rochester Nighthawks lacrosse team. We're very excited about that. That's going in a different kind of business direction, but I think it's real positive. I think the people of Rochester are very appreciative and thankful to keep their franchise in place. I think Buffalo kind of can feel a little bit of what they were feeling. If you think back in the day with the Buffalo Braves basketball team from the NBA, and the ownership basically tore apart the team, sold it, and they moved to LA. And you know, I remember being as a kid, how devastating that was that we lost our basketball team. You know, and you know, and certainly, you know, the Rochester community was probably feeling the same way. And when opportunity came for us, you know, lacrosse is such an important part of our culture and who we are. It's the creator's game, it's a healing game, medicine game. And who better to own a lacrosse team than the Seneca Nation, right? And so we looked at the opportunity, vetted it, got our company Seneca Holdings involved. They helped a great deal, and we were able to facilitate a transaction and purchase of the Rochester Nighthawks. And I'm happy to report that the league and the players have agreed to a new collective bargaining agreement in recent days. And so the season is on, and we're moving forward. The players will be assembling in Rochester this week for physicals and other things, preliminary things before they start training camp for the season. And so we're real excited about it. I know we're in bandit land here, but hey, you're in Nighthawks territory now. So we appreciate any kind of support and all the support in regards to that. And if you're a Bandits fan, hey, you know, I think there's room for both. We can be Bandits and Nighthawks fans. So it's going to be a great rivalry. It's going to be a great season and a future for the Rochester Nighthawks. We're really looking forward to it and being a part of that. So thanks for that. So, you know, also expanding our economic footprint across this region to be able to get into other kind of economic development situations. We had some good meetings in Albany with Empire Development and with local IDA companies, and so we're working that, and we're moving down the road in the process of trying to establish a further economic footprint in this region. And so we're really looking forward to that, and it's going to be something that's going to build a foundation for us to move forward and to be able to sustain that for generations to come. So thanks for being here. I'm going to turn it over now to Councilor Odie Porter, who's going to deliver our current economic impact study that we had completed. So Odie.
Thank you, President Seneca, and thank you all for being here today. It's very exciting for us to be able to share the economic success story of the Seneca Nation. Today we're going to talk about a lot of different numbers, but the first number that I want to share with you is the number 1,000. And because 1,000 years is how long the Seneca people have been here. And we've had an economy in this area for far more than 1,000 years. And we're going to be here for 1,000 more. So I just want to start off by talking about our economic success during that period. So the Seneca Nation commissioned a study with Meister Economic Consulting, and it comprised 16 counties of Western New York. We have counties that we have our operations in. It's Allegheny, Cattaraugus, Chautauqua, Erie, Livingston, Niagara, and Wyoming counties. And this aggregate of our lands is about 56,000 acres, or you would call it 87 square miles. The Seneca Nation has generated $1.95 billion in total economic output across New York State. In fact, that number is even low because we have such a vibrant entrepreneurial economy in the Seneca Nation. We have a number of highly successful Seneca entrepreneurs that also contribute to that economy and contribute more jobs to the region. The Seneca Nation supported over 8,000 jobs with $542.7 million in wages, and which is an overwhelming number when you think about it of people that are paying taxes. There are very few Senecas that are actually working, but most of this majority is taxpayer citizens. The Seneca Nation also contributed $365.9 million in taxes and other payments to the federal, state, and local governments. So our employee leadership. The Seneca Nation ranks as the 12th largest employer in Western New York with over 4,600 total employees. And then if we remove New York State and remove Buffalo City Schools and Erie County, we now rank number 8 in the whole region. We directly employ over 3,700 FTE at our businesses and governmental operations, and indirectly support 4,300 jobs throughout the regional economy. That's how we get our 8,000 jobs. 8,000 jobs. And these 8,000 jobs are not phantom jobs, these are real jobs. These are jobs that are people that are paying taxes, and these jobs are also have incomes above the average, the mean. When we calculated the mean of the wages in this region, Seneca Nation paid far above that mean to all of our employees. So we're really very proud of that. These jobs have health benefits, and they have a lot of economic security. The same people in Western New York are the same people that have mortgages. They have car payments, and they have kids that attend the local schools. So how is the output derived? Well, the Seneca Nation owns and operates 34 diverse businesses through our government, our Seneca Gaming Corporation, and Seneca Holdings. And now, as the president stated, we're the proud owners of the Rochester Nighthawks. We're very proud of this growth, and we're even more proud that it's sustained. And we're self-sufficient, and we're self-funded. We didn't build any of this with New York tax dollars. We didn't build any of this with subsidies. We built this with a zero investment from any other economy. We did this on our own. Our growth occurred because we either borrowed the funds, or we made investments, or reinvested our earnings into new businesses. So the $0 investment, that's my second number, 0. 0 from New York State to build everything that you see here. The nation operates the 34 businesses across different industries. We have our 3 casinos. We're in this beautiful one right now, Buffalo Creek. We have 2 bingo halls. We have Class 2 gaming facilities. We have energy and development, renewable energy products. We have federal contracting through Seneca Holdings subsidiaries. Seneca Holdings operates many different businesses across the country. But what happens is the report stated that all of the profits that came in to the Seneca Nation, that's what we're counting in our overall output. We have retail operations, convenience stores, we now have cannabis, we have hospitality. We have an excellent hospitality with hotels, restaurants, spas. The Seneca Nation government, all those funds, all that revenue comes back to the Seneca Nation. All of it. We provide services, comprehensive services to the 8,600 Seneca Nation citizens. Our citizens that live on 2 of our territories, you see here, we have the Cattaraugus Territory and the Allegheny Territory. Half of us live on the territories, and the other, about 90% of us live within a 100-mile radius, so they're within the region. Our government funds funds everything that any other local government funds. So unlike local governments and New York State governments that have taxes, property taxes, state taxes, sales taxes. We don't do any of that. We don't tax our citizens. We'll never tax our citizens. We don't do taxes. But what we do is we try to run businesses, and we do run businesses, and all those proceeds come back to our government. And our government funds things like our DPW, just very mundane services, plowing, wastewater, we pay for our wastewater, public safety, public buildings. And then we also pay for education, healthcare, Seneca language, culture, subsidized daycare, early child learning, public safety, our cultural preservation and environmental programs. We support all of that with no help from other governments other than some of the grant programs that might be specified for a particular item. But we do it all from the earnings that we make from our businesses. So every dollar of economic activity generates other regional benefits. The direct impact, when we sort of distill it down, the direct impact really, which is the Seneca Nation businesses, the casino businesses, is $1.05 billion of output each year. That's nearly 3,700 jobs. Take it down a layer, the indirect impact, $450 million in output and over 2,000 jobs. So these are the suppliers. The congressman noted, like, you know, what we ate here for lunch today, that was supplied by somebody. The tablecloths, the chairs, the tables, the carpet, IT contractors, accounting firms, all of it is now the indirect impact. And then it goes down into the families of those people, $443 million, over 2,200 jobs. And that's in the private sector. Those are the households. Again, those are the groups that are paying taxes. Those are the groups supporting your local economies. So over $2 billion has been invested in our gaming facilities since 2002. $2 billion, that's our next number. $2 billion, over $2 billion went to New York State for us to have, supposed to be exclusivity. $2 billion went to the Seneca Nation over 20 plus years. And all of those funds stayed here. So I think the key message that we want to leave you with today is the Seneca Nation serves as a major economic force in Western New York, generating billions of economic activity while providing essential services to our members and creating thousands of jobs for the broader community. As a sovereign nation operating on ancestral lands we've inhabited for over 1,000 years, the Seneca Nation demonstrates how tribal sovereignty and self-governance create shared prosperity for both native and non-native communities throughout the 16-county Western New York region. We've observed over the years how New York State and other entities have really tried to do their best to lure companies into this region. You spend a lot of resources and you do a lot of studies, hoping that companies will come here to stay long enough that it might make a difference. You have an economic powerhouse right here. You don't have to, we're here. We don't need any incentives to stay, nor do we require any investment on your part. We're committed to be here forever. And while consultants might debate the economic development strategies, we're executing one. Our strategy is to keep the wealth and the earnings locally, create permanent jobs. And the last thing of this strategy is that our measure of success is not measured every quarter, it's measured in every 7 generations. That's how we make decisions. That's how we make business decisions. So the Seneca Nation economy, we didn't just show up 25 years ago. We're the oldest in the region, and we are the most permanent. Again, just under $2 billion annual impact, 8,000 jobs, with 7 generations in counting. That's just not economic development, that's economic permanence. We're here to stay, we're not going anywhere, and we're gonna make life better for our people. Yahweh. Questions for the president?
Yeah, we'll open up for any questions. Anybody has any?
President, if you could, I know you spoke about it a little earlier before the news conference. Can you get us up to speed on if there are negotiations going on when it comes to the gaming compact between the Seneca Nation and New York State?
Well, we're having meetings. I don't know if there's been negotiating, but we have had meetings with them. Doesn't seem like they want to negotiate fairly. The way I look at it, certainly they're showing bad faith in regards to any type of discussions that we've been having, any exchange of information that we've had, any positions that we've taken. So, but New York's bad faith has gone back not just 3 years, but for many, many years. They've proven that they can't sit and discuss with the Seneca Nation in a good way. That has to change.
Is that the governor's office you're referring to directly? Or?
Yes.
Okay. What is your message to the governor at this point?
Hey, let's sit down at the table. We need to get going. We need to have a discussion. We haven't had that opportunity, although we've met on a couple issues. We haven't got into any type of compact-related discussions at all. And that's where we need to be. Time's wasted.
How frustrated are you, especially showing the economic impact that you just released? How frustrated are you that Kathy Hochul will not sit down with you?
I'm very frustrated. I think certainly I'm frustrated and I'm upset about the situation, about the slow-moving process, the almost stagnant process in regards to any kind of relationship or discussions to get resolved to this compact situation. And the Seneca Nation is prepared. We've sent a series of letters, series of communications, series of messages outlining our availability to be able to be at the table, to communicate, to go wherever we need to go, whether it's here in Western New York, whether it's in Albany, whether it's in New York, whether it's in Syracuse, whoever it may be, we'll go to make sure that we give every opportunity to get resolved to this situation. To no result, no message back from the governor's office in regards to doing the same.
You mentioned the state legislative branch being more open and seeming more willing to negotiate versus the executive branch. What are you hearing from the legislative branch? It's obviously very divided, Republican and Democrat here in New York. Is it one side or the other that's kind of more talking to you, or is it the whole legislature?
I think as far as Seneca Nation goes, we have great relations with both sides of the aisle, whether it's a Republican or Democrat. And we've shown in the past that we're able to work and communicate with each other and get things done. It's the executive chamber that's been a problem. And that has to change. Like I said, we're looking for assistance. We're looking for the legislature to be able to step into the process, to be able to get those negotiators to the table, people that can make decisions. The legislators, whether it's the Senate or the Assembly, are decision makers. And they're going to have to ultimately make that decision for New York. And if they're not included in the process, then they're not going to be able to possibly make that decision that they can have confidence in, but that is the right thing to do. And that's like I go back to what I said. When I got in office, the first thing we did was starting to have community meetings for inclusion of the Seneca people in the process in regards to what the people wanted in a compact. We had several meetings. We compiled a compact that was based on that, on those discussions, those ideas, those concerns, and we brought it forward. We presented it to the governor's team, and they basically just trashed it. And that's disrespectful in my book, and I'm not going to put up with that. And I'm going to put up that treatment, the mistreatment that the governor's office continues to have in regards to the Seneca Nation and Native people.
You said the state, Senate, and Assembly both, showing support and communication. Like, how far does that extend beyond just the immediate Western New York area? Like, are you seeing that in Rochester, Syracuse?
Yeah, we had Seneca Impact Days in Albany last year, and we met with leadership from all across the state, whether it was downstate in New York, Long Island, all the way up into the Mohawk Valley, across everywhere in New York. We engage. We continue to engage with legislative folks in Albany to carry our message and to get to know them and them to get to know us, because I think, you know, when we do that, we're our best advocates here at Seneca Nation when we travel and we meet with people. And we do our homework, we know where they're from, we know what they're about, and they need to do the same, because they don't know about Seneca Nation, they don't know where we're from, many of them, and that's sad to say, but I think they're learning, and I'm certainly hopeful that they take that opportunity to learn about Seneca Nation, and this is a way of doing that, talking about economic impact here in Western New York, and what we bring to the table in regards to everything that we do.
You know, at this point, how do you move forward with trying to get a new deal done when it comes to the compact? It sounds like things are at a stalemate. I mean, how do you start getting things back in motion?
Yeah, you know, this is part of it. Reaching out to the legislative leadership in Albany to make sure that our message is clear, and hopefully they can, you know, find a way to be able to get things moving in a positive direction as far as discussion and trying to get resolved to this issue, because I think they play an important role, and I think they need to be included. And you know, it's you know, I just think you know, of course, you know, I look at a lot of history in all my years in government, the things I learned from my parents and other leaders that I've been able to have exposure to over the course of my life. The one thing that always comes to the top is that you can't trust the state of New York, you know. And you know, in my view, and what I've learned, there are representatives and people that you can trust, like a George Borrello. I trust him, and you know, I think we have many of those folks that support us and work with us that we can trust. But you know, it is still resonating in regards to when you try to work with and deal with an entity like the executive chamber, that distrust is right in your face, and you can't look another way. You see it, and you hope it doesn't materialize, and you hope it's not there, but it's there.
What would be your ideal outcome in this negotiation?
Again, we want to be able to have a fair compact. We like to have certainly some modifications from the last compact that we had. Nothing really out of line or severe. You know, I think certainly you know, we need to get this done to be able to have a solid future for our people, and of course of revenue that's coming into the nation and here in Western New York, and that's what we need. We need to have that security. We need to have that foundation to be able to sustain over the next several years here and what we do with our gaming facilities.
Are other Indian nations facing the same cone of silence from the executive branch that you're facing?
I'm not sure. You know, I know that there's been certain things that they've been able to work on. Onondaga was able to work on a land claim issue where they received land back last year. Mohawk recently has had success as well in regards to regaining land. Those are non-gaming issues. Of course, Onondaga doesn't do gaming, but the Mohawks do. You know, Oneida has had negotiations years ago with a former governor, and they seem to be pretty well set in what they're doing and talking with their leadership. So, you know, Seneca Nation, we're here, but we're not getting the same type of dialogue or working together type of relationship as others may have. So.
Just want to make sure I have it right. The Seneca Nation has had conversations recently with the executive branch, but not directly with the governor when it comes to the compact?
Yes.
Okay. When's the last time you spoke with the governor?
Last time I spoke to the governor, was probably back in the summer, August maybe.
Any updates on the section of the 90 that runs the Cataracts Reservation? Any movement on that, on the legal battle that's going on?
Yeah, that's continuing. Certainly, it was good news coming out of the federal court that at this juncture that we had success from the magistrate in regards to, determining that New York State, since 1954, has illegally operated the New York State Thruway on our territory, and certainly we're going to have to, work through the court system with that. But I think the state has till November 15th to file any objection in regards to the magistrate's recommendation to the district court, and so we'll have the opportunity to file our own rebuttal against that as well. And I think both parties then also have a limited time to file a rebuttal on that rebuttal. So, and then, of course, all of this stuff goes to the district court for them to look at, and then to be able to then determine what their ruling may be, and then we'll see where that is at that point.
Do you see that as a bargaining chip in the, well, I guess lack of negotiations with the state?
I don't think so. I don't think it's a bargaining chip, but it tells you the story of the treatment of the Seneca Nation from the state of New York over the course of history. I think that's significant. And, again, talking about all of this history that we have going back, many, many, many years, we need things to change in our relationship to be able to move forward. And that's what we're working on from Seneca Nation perspective. That's what we want. That's what we're trying to do. In the end, if we can't get there, certainly we're going to have to choose another path and try to get the result that we need in different ways. Do we want to do that? Maybe, maybe not. It may be radical at times. Certainly, I have no qualms about going in that direction. People that know me, they know my history. I've been involved in the Seneca Nation government for many, many years. And, I'm an activist, I'm a lawyer, I'm an educator, I'm whatever I need to be to protect my people, to protect our sovereignty, to defend our treaties, and to do anything possible to make sure that we, the Seneca people, are treated in a fair and just way.
Okay, thanks everybody.
Thank you.
All right. Thanks again. I appreciate you guys being here.
Thank you.
And,